This woman, Linda, woke up to an empty driveway. At first, she thought her car had been stolen. It hadn't. It had been repossessed because her husband hadn't paid the installments in 4 months. And this wasn't the first time something had gone wrong like this. A year earlier, there was a different kind of surprise. A notice on the door that the utilities were on the verge of being cut off. Again, months behind, and he hadn't said a word about it to Linda. And that led to a serious conversation. Not about money, but about honesty. Linda made it very clear. Financial problems weren't the issue. Hiding them was, because to her, that was as bad as lying. And he promised to be honest going forward. But he obviously wasn't. And here's the thing about trust. He had 4 months to let her know something was wrong, and didn't. 4 months where there was a chance to fix it together. 4 months where he chose to hide it from her. And when everything finally surfaced, it was only because of consequences, not open communication. And the kicker is, this isn't an established marriage. They've only been married for 6 months. So she went into this marriage based on a promise he made a year ago that he wouldn't hide things from her again. But he did. Which means they're not a partnership. She couldn't help or work out a way forward together. Instead, he hid something from her that also affects her and leads to other questions about what else he may be hiding. So she starts asking for proof. Mortgage payments, account histories, evidence that the house is still secure, which shows how deeply the trust between them has been affected. Because now it's about whether Linda believes that she would be told if there was a problem. And if I were her, honestly, I wouldn't. It would be something on my mind for a long time. Have you ever had your trust broken like this? If so, tell us in the comments what happened and how you dealt with it. That might help someone else in the same position. So after all this, after all the excuses and lame explanations, Linda draws a line. She says if it happens again, she'll leave. And that can feel very differently depending on which side of the fence you're on. To him, it feels extreme, disproportionate. To her, it feels necessary. Because from Linda's perspective, this isn't about a car. It's that he promised this wouldn't happen again. It's about the fact what he did was deceitful. And remember, this boundary isn't being set 10 years into a complicated marriage. It's being set 6 months in. Actually, it got set 6 months before they got married, the first time it was an issue. And it raises an uncomfortable question. If this is what happens at the start, what could things be like later if she didn't intervene? Right now, nothing has ended. They're still together, the house is still theirs. The car might be recoverable depending on what they can pay. But the dynamic has changed. From trust to monitoring, mothering. And once that shift happens, it's hard to reverse, because once you start to question someone about one thing, it can easily spread to other areas. I can understand the shame that comes with not being able to manage finances properly, of letting someone else down. So I can kind of understand where the husband is coming from. But at the same time, if you're in such a big hole that things are getting repossessed, you need to own up. It's not like she's not going to notice that the car isn't there anymore. This also shows the difference in values though. He believes marriage means staying, no matter what. She believes marriage requires honesty, or it stops working. So here's my question. Is she wrong for giving him that ultimatum? Personally, I don't think so. Because this wasn't a one-time thing. And when someone hides a problem until it becomes a crisis, the issue isn't the mistake itself, it's the decision to keep you out of it. And that's why the internet couldn't agree on this one. If you enjoyed this episode of Quietly Unhinged, there's another one waiting on screen right now. I'll see you there.